One thing that we all need to be aware of is that burnout doesn't necessarily come in the form of a breakdown, and it doesn't always tend or lead to exhaustion. For many of us, burnout leads to a complete numbness, a numbness that is a complete flat line. You wake up, you go to work, you carry on pushing through, you do everything that you need to do, but underneath it all, there's this subtle deadness that you've got, that you're not rising up to the occasion anymore. You're not giving it your all, but you are performing to the best of your ability. And that's what I'm discussing in today's video, is high functioning burnout, something that not everyone sees happening around them on a day-to-day basis. So this would look like you showing up at work, you've woken up, you've sorted out your family for the day, you've done what you need to do, and then you start going through the motions of your daily work day. And whether you're running a business or going to work, it doesn't really matter, but this high functioning burnout is something that people experience, whereby on the surface it looks like everything is okay, but underneath it all there is just this. It's difficult to explain, but it's almost like there's no kickback from what you are going through. You go through the motions, you do what needs to be done, but the people around you think that you're coping, and actually underneath it all, if you had to peel away the layers, you become non-reactive, and that non-reactive is a very, very dangerous place to be, because nothing sort of piques your interest anymore or scares you anymore, and you're sort of just pushing through all of the motions on a day-to-day basis. It's like the saying or the adage where calm on the surface but frantic underneath. Like, picture a duck swimming on the water, it's paddling, but on the surface it looks extremely calm. And yes, it seems like you're coping and you keep pushing, but one of the main things that you need to take into account is emotional cleansing almost. And I'm not just saying this from an outsider's perspective. I have experienced this myself. I've had family members experience the same thing, and it is about all high functioning achievers who want to get a lot done in life. They all tend to take on too much, pick up everyone else's pieces around them. They're not able to dissociate from work and private life. Work goes with them. You sort of see your work and your private time as one thing. The lines are blurred, and it gets even more difficult with all of the technology that's out there today. Your cell phone is constantly pinging, emails follow you. After hours, you've got Teams on your private phone, your emails on your private phone. You think, I'm just going to check that one email, but it doesn't become the one email. The email leads to something else, and then before you know it, you've spent another 2 hours after you've come back from work doing things that you shouldn't have had to do. So that is what I'm on a mission to do at the moment, is to build certain checks and balances into my life, that work doesn't become this all-consuming entity. One of them is putting in stops and things that are going to trigger me to know that by a certain time there's a cutoff. If you don't manage things like that, it is extremely difficult to get out of the rut that you're in. You have to have a time for recharge, you have to have a downtime, you have to have a rest time. And if you don't specifically make time for this, the world will make time in different ways, that it is going to dictate to you what is happening, and it's not something that you can control. So one of the tools that I'm currently building, and is for me to use, but it's a daily close off, and it's an extremely simple process that I've put in place for me. And all it is that I'm trying to limit the number of tasks that are coming in any given day. So the tasks that keep coming at me, if I continue taking them on, it leads to this complete depletion of energy. And like I said, with the numbness, you just carry on ticking boxes. You'll open up the next email and you think that you're getting work done, but you're not really, because you're not performing at your best. So what this daily close off is going to be doing for me is that first thing in the morning is to list out all of the items that I have to get done in that day. and then to split it into things that are actually urgent and need to get done and that they're important. And then other things is if they can be deferred, not really critical, and then things that have come across my path that I don't actually need to get done, and those get dropped off the list. And then a further step to that I'm busy implementing is that anything that comes at me past 12 p.m. or 12 midday does not go onto my today list. I know that in certain instances it'll come across your path. There has to be something that needs to be done, and it's going to be extremely rare, but you need to practice, or I'm going to try to practice this, where if something comes past at midday, it moves on to tomorrow's list. And then once I've ticked off all of the items that I had to do in that day, then it becomes my close off, my daily close off. And as a sort of a ritualistic approach to it, it's just going to be a page that I tear off and throw away. So it's sort of a mental lock-in that I know I've done what I need to do, the day is finished, and I take that paper. When it's in the bin, my day is done. So maybe try and implement something like that in your life. Hopefully it's going to help me, but I think that's the only way that I can win my energy back.